Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Governor Andy Beshear visits the mountains to announce some new efforts in the flood recovery process. And researchers at the University of Kentucky look into why people are hesitant to get COVID vaccinated here in our region.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Well, it's Wednesday. It's almost 5 o'clock. I'm Dakota Makris. Thank you so much for waking up with us. And let's head over to Brandon on this first alert weather day. And that rain is just coming down this morning.
Exactly, Dakota. We thought it would be the case this morning, and it's not disappointed us. We're going to continue to see the heaviest rains this morning. So if you're heading out soon or you're heading out a little bit later on, you're going to be dealing with that heavy rain. But I guess the better news as we head deeper to the day, it will turn more scattered. But it's a tale of two skies on live pinpoint Doppler radar this morning. Colder air to our north, so places like Parkersburg, Cincinnati, Louisville getting some snow this morning. I did see here in Hazard when I was coming into work about 4 o'clock that a little bit of snow was trying to mix in with the rain, but it's definitely all rain here across our region this morning. Temperatures very close there. Hazard at 34, so that's why the mixing was happening here, but a lot of upper 30s and low 40s out there. Temperatures actually on the way up this morning, so we've seen our low basically about 2 o'clock this morning. Now they're on their way up, and we will top out in the upper 50s a little bit later on. We got the wind coming in from the south for now. That's going to start to shift a little bit later on, but these are consistent wind speeds already. 10 miles per hour in Logan, Somerset, 13 miles per hour in Harlan, and 12 in Monticello. You factor in some gusts, we're already at 20 plus in some locations out there this morning, and we've got a wind advisory that's going to kick in at 7 o'clock this morning, and that's going to take us through 7 o'clock tonight, where we could see gusts of 40 to 45 miles per hour. Out the door forecast about 59 before those temperatures start to drop this afternoon. That should be when the cold front arrives just after about 2 or 3 o'clock today, when those temperatures start to drop. Dakota?
All right, Brennan, thank you. Well, Governor Andy Beshear stopped by our region yesterday, making announcements involving the future of flood recovery, among other projects. Well, here in Perry County, he announced another location was selected for new homes on higher ground. The land is being donated by landowner Paul Eisen and his family and is about 5 miles outside of Hazard. The city of Buckhorn will also get nearly $750,000 to improve its sewer and water system. Nearly $2 million is going towards sewer line improvements in downtown Hazard, and more than $1 million will go to replace water lines along Highway 476. The governor was just named co-chair of the Appalachian Regional Commission, which is funding these projects.
Kentucky has seen record funding the last couple of years, but you know what? We need it. And so as co-chair, I will continue to advocate not only for every dollar that Kentucky should get, but for the entire Appalachian region.
The governor also announced funding for several nonprofits in Perry County, including the Housing Development Alliance and the Appalachian Arts Alliance. He also visited with Robinson Elementary and Buckhorn students. They are in the old A.B. Combs Elementary building after their schools were flooded. And the governor also made a stop in Pike County for another round of announcements. A news conference hosted at the Pikeville Area Family YMCA celebrated nearly $4 million in awards being dispersed throughout the county. The governor announced a $3.5 million commitment from the Cleaner Water Program for projects in Elkhorn City, Pikeville, and throughout the Mountain Water District. The governor says the funds are an investment in the future of the county and the Commonwealth.
The infrastructure that we announced here today is absolutely critical. When you combine that with what we're doing in broadband, with the largest public sector investment ever, along with four-laning the Mountain Parkway, we've got a lot going on in Eastern Kentucky.
Well, Governor Beshear also announced around $330,000 in awards to nonprofits across the county. Well, FEMA approved more than $1.6 million in federal funding for the Knott County Board of Education. Well, the money is a reimbursement for the district's response to the flood. The funding is for emergency cleaning, mold, and flood cleanup that happened between August 2nd and August 23rd last year. A news release said the Board of Education used contractors at Knott County Central High School, Hyman Elementary, and ATC Vocational School for flood cleanup. The release said, quote, this project was funded at a 100% federal cost share, meaning FEMA reimburses all of the eligible costs. Well, a new COVID-19 research project is getting off the ground. University of Kentucky researchers say they are doing a 5-year project on COVID vaccine hesitancy here in eastern Kentucky. Well, they want to know why some people have not been vaccinated and how local public health agencies need to combat that.
We've worked for many, many years in the region and built trusted partnerships with communities in the area. And so we're really trying to partner with the communities in all aspects of this work.
Researchers say the project will use facilities in the UK Center of Excellence in Rural Health here in Hazard. Well, state leaders released some updated numbers about COVID-19 late on Monday. The weekly positivity rate is down 0.1 of a point to 10.27% from last week. There were 45 new deaths reported on Monday. The total now sits at 17,838 people who have died from COVID across the Commonwealth since the start of the pandemic. Well, Pikeville Medical Center's Heart and Vascular Institute of Eastern Kentucky is now offering a new procedure that very few in Kentucky are also offering. PMC is one of only 3 hospitals offering a type of therapy that aims to correct abnormal rhythms in the top chamber of the heart, which can cause a significant increase in stroke risk as well as a risk of heart failure. PMC Dr. Chase Reynolds says offering this procedure here in the mountains is important in keeping people in the region heart healthy.
In our region, we do have a significantly increased rate of atrial fibrillation. Because of that, we have to take all of this much more seriously and really know those warning signs when we need to be seeking out a physician to discuss our options and see what we can do, both to minimize that stroke risk as well as to treat the rhythm itself and prevent the long-term effects of AFib.
He says the procedure is around twice as effective as normal heart ablation alone because it targets not only the inside of the heart, but the outside of the heart as well. Well, thank you so much for getting your soggy Wednesday morning started with the Sierra Mountain News this morning. Coming up, millions of Americans are under a tornado watch after powerful storms rip through Texas. We'll have more on what they might be facing when we come back.
And of course, heavy rain is falling here across our part of the region right now. Track off the rest of your day in the cold front that is going to bring us some snow chances tonight here in about 3 minutes.